So we know the issues, we know about energy, we know about the border, we know Joe Biden doesn't know what he's doing. We know all that, we get all that. But why do this? Why do this here tonight with Legacy PAC? Because there's a whole lot of people who have the passion to save this country who need help getting off the ground.
The purpose of Legacy PAC is to save America. That's our mission. That's what we really want to do because America's worth saving.
I am by trade, I'm a cybersecurity engineer. Okay, so this is my first run in politics. We need more conservative Republicans standing up and fighting for the Constitution.
We're an America First PAC, and we want to promote and help our up-and-coming candidates, and we're going to be holding the line for President Trump.
I joined the Army at 17 years old. My first day at my first unit, which was 25th Infantry, was September 10th, 2001. So the next day was 9/11. And I spent about a total of a decade between Iraq and Afghanistan in country. So my country means everything to me. When I realized that if people like myself who don't want to be politicians don't start stepping up and taking these seats, that nothing's going to change, then I said, okay, I'll do it.
Who deserves to lead the people of this country more than those who serve this country? So I'm behind every one of them. So let's make sure we get more veterans into power. I'm all for it.
Remember why you're involved. We have to make sure people remain humble and not engage in self-glorification. You are here for one reason, and that is to save the country. Period. End of story.
And for those candidates who are looking uphill and wondering how, keep your head down, focus on the target, and outwork everybody. And I promise you, you're not gonna lose. You're either gonna win on election night or you change the game on election night. So God bless you guys. Thank you so much, Legacy PAC.
Thank you, Legacy PAC.
Under this administration, they have deliberately opened the border to fundamentally change the fabric of our country.
I'm Jared Craig with Legacy PAC. We are here at Eagle Pass, Texas, to bring attention to the border crisis, to educate the voters, the citizens of the United States, and the candidates running for federal office, the importance of a secure border.
And at Legacy PAC, we want to bring candidates here to the border to see it firsthand, because there is nothing like being here, seeing this. We saw women and children climbing over barbed wire. There is no reason why we cannot secure this border. There is no reason to keep this open. This is not humane. So we need to get Victor and all these other good America First candidates into office.
We at Legacy PAC depend on your donation and support to support these projects. We can't do it without you. So please go on to legacypac.org and show your support.
Hey, it's Kevin Sorbo here. I'm filming a documentary in Israel right now, but I was just in Texas last week and I was speaking with President Trump. And I just want to let you all know that President Trump does love our veterans, so please support our veterans and visit VFAF.org. That's VFAF.org. God bless. Thank you.
Hi, Veterans for America First. It's Kellyanne Conway here in Palm Beach, Florida, saying thank you so much for being on the front lines of freedom. Keep up the great.
Hey folks, it's John Rich here, Veterans for Trump, incredible organization. We love our vets. Without men and women willing to sacrifice and die necessary for our country, we wouldn't have a country. We all know that. Much respect and much love. God bless you.
Thank you so much. That is wonderful. And thanks for all you guys do. You're amazing. It's wonderful to be a part of this Veterans for Trump family. So keep staying strong. We have a country to save.
I'm Lieutenant General Michael T. Flynn, and I am Veterans for Trump.
And Stan, where's Stan? Stan is with Veterans for Trump.
Thank you, Martha.
Thank you all. We're honored. I know there are so many organizations represented here today.
And thank you so much to Stan Fitzgerald. Where is he? There he is. Thank you so much. You are a great patriot. Thank you both. Thank you both for helping out. You're so supportive, not only for people like me, President Trump and for America First and MAGA. So God bless you. Thank you.
You're sitting here too much. But you're going to do very well. And I just had somebody write down, first of all, James and Sarah Pritchard, thank you very much. Yes. Great job. Thank you. We appreciate all the help. Stanley and Donna Fitzgerald.
Right here, sir.
Thank you very much. It's great. It's great that you're with us. Mike Acton.
Hi, this is Stan Fitzgerald, Veterans for Trump. I'm here with Zoe Warren, who's running for State House in South Carolina. South Carolina. How are you today, sir?
I'm well, sir, and I'm getting better. Thank you.
Good. I know we both had busy days. So tell us a little bit about your background.
Well, I'm a filmmaker and a missionary. My family and I, we've been to the Pakistan, to the Philippines. We ministered at a soup kitchen downtown Columbia to the homeless and the working poor. We made it our mission to serve, and so that's what we do. You know, our whole move into government ministry even was just because we were trying to serve. We didn't understand the hatred for Trump. Since 2015, we've been supporting Donald J. Trump, and unfortunately, I mean, we lost a lot of friends and family. If you support Trump and you're black, then you don't get invited to the family reunion. And if you go,
it happens to us too. It's an illness affecting this country.
TDS they call it. But you know, obviously, a lot of even my family has kind of changed their tune a little bit. They're not as hostile now because they've seen the results of the Biden administration and they remember the results of the Trump administration. So anyway, with all that said, I was in the military in 1997. I was in until 1999. I was one of those who resisted the anthrax vaccination. And my resistance turned into what they considered a behavior problem. And so they were going to give me a big chicken dinner. But a big chicken dinner is a bad kind of discharge. But they offered me a general under honorable condition, an administrative discharge. They said, we'll let you go. You can go home. Because I just refused. It ended up being the DOD lost. I was right.
Right, yeah.
The federal government protects our soldiers and our sailors and our airmen now because they have the right to informed consent. That's just the way it should have been in the first place. That's the way it should be, right? And so they were being used as guinea pigs. I was going to be used as a guinea pig, and I just didn't want that. And because of that, I lost a lot of respect for some of my superiors. I was in 1st MARDIV, 1st SSG. I was a field medical technician, a field medical service school. I went to field medical service school and learned how to fix the feet of broken Marines. You know, if we had to go on a long march in a battle, I was able to fix their feet, and make sure if they got any diseases in the surrounding cities, they could be taken care of. That was my job. So,
well, this organization certainly appreciates your service and your fight, and you stepping up now to work on policy in South Carolina, which is actually a problem. I mean, it's technically a red state, but it's not ranked very well in voting. So can you tell us a little bit about what you want to work on in South Carolina?
Yeah, I mean, number one, elections. Our elections, I mean, we essentially have 2 weeks of early voting. We still have ES&S machines. Shenanigans with absentee ballots, ballot harvesting, all that stuff takes place here. They try to say it doesn't, but it takes place here. And so I'd love to be able to fix that issue. Also, illicit fentanyl. Okay, we have a problem because of the porous southern border in South Carolina with CCP produced illicit fentanyl killing our youth. I just lost a friend this last month. And I know she had a problem, but it's because fentanyl is being laced in everything. All she had to do was touch it. And she's gone. You know, and so that's another problem that we need to fix. And I would also love, obviously, to see a real clean constitutional carry bill and the ability for our state organized militia and unorganized militia to have access to training. You know, whether you're an organized militia or not, you should have training paid for by the state, because the state said that's their job. I don't know how they shirk that responsibility, but we should all be able to be trained in gun safety handling, tactical training, just in case the poop hits the fan. I mean, we really literally have CCP Chinese nationals on our shores. We literally have in South Carolina a place they call Islamville, where, I mean, truly surveil domestic terrorists do military-like training. And obviously they're in America. We have to respect that they have a right to live, but they're actually their training. And so we need to make sure that we're prepared for whatever eventuality. And so I'd love to see those types of policies passed in America, in South Carolina, and America, across the whole state, across the whole country for that matter, because our state is not alone in this fight. We're not a singularity. It's the same thing all over the country. I would also like to see, stiffer penalties for, forgive me, for federal law enforcement. And whether they're in the ATF, the DEA, Bureau of Land Management, U.S. Fish and Wildlife Services, whatever the case may be, if they violate the rights of us in our states, like our states should be able to actually prosecute any agencies that trespass our citizens. I mean, obviously they have a jurisdiction under the federal government, but there should also be the ability for the states to also act on that, because oftentimes they're giving our people bad intelligence. Bad information might give somebody the wrong direction when they're trying to travel. But bad intel, as you know as well as I know, being military, gets people killed. And so they're oftentimes giving our law enforcement bad intelligence, telling people that grandmas who were at January 6th may be members of terror organizations. And I mean, truly, you'll find our law enforcement walking with their hands on their firearms because they feel like they may be threatened by Mr. Magoo and Amia Badia, who got caught in a rally that went a little too wild.
Right.
So,
well, we appreciate your policies and definitely agree with them. And as you point out, infiltration by foreign nations, including China and extremists, is they're walking right across the border. Zoe, you referenced your support of Donald Trump for 47, and you also referenced our federal government. Just go a little more into detail about the weaponization of our government against the president and his supporters. Banana Republic persecutions in multiple states. What are your thoughts on what's occurring in this country?
I believe we're in Minority Report, thought crime, crime prevention territory. We have been to D.C. 5 times over the last year, talking to the Weaponization Subcommittee, Oversight Committee, the Judiciary Committee. I'm in conversations with the investigators from the Judiciary Committee, bringing evidence, bringing victims to try to get it solved. Because we literally have what I would consider a lawless national government, lawless federal agencies, even our judiciary. Thomas Jefferson warned us about the judiciary. Okay, he warned us that they could undermine our constitutional protections. They could undermine the separation of powers, and they have been doing that. I mean, look what they did to Donald Trump, right? In court, they withheld evidence that could be considered exculpatory with this woman. That the $83 million to because she said he did something that he didn't do, right? Because they used motions in limine to prevent evidence from being able to be used in the court. Motions in limine that would actually exonerate him because it speaks to the mindset of this lunatic that was suing him for nothing, right? And so they're doing that to everybody. They've been doing that to American citizens in this court. They're doing it to J6ers. Matter of fact, I got a J6er that we took to DC with us the last time we went.
When you say we, in what capacity are you talking about?
Well, I say we because I train people in self-governance, train people in political science, train people in the Constitution, and I work with an education group called the Center for Self-Governance. And our job has been to train people in self-governance so that they can learn systematic politics and practice it. And one of the things we've been doing is advocating for folks who have been, the government's been weaponized against. SPLC, the Southern Poverty Law Center, is actually informing our law enforcement as to what homegrown violent extremism looks like. Okay? We are actually taking the counsel from a biased left-wing think tank who won't denounce Hamas, who are anti-Semitic, who are calling Moms for Liberty terrorists, but won't call Hamas, who's on the foreign terrorist organization watch list, actual terrorists. Okay? They're giving our law enforcement counsel on who should be in their integrative threat management program, right? And what it looks like when they're in this particular tier or this particular band. And it's ridiculous. And so we have been taking victims of this thing. And one of the guys that we took with us to DC on his NCIC, and that's the National Crime Instant Background Check, Criminal Instant Background Check System. It's like a federal database of your crimes that can follow you if you're a felon or whatever, or you're a threat, or if they got a bench warrant on you. The local, state, federal, and tribal governments can put you on the NCIC. Now, they're partnered to do that. Well, on the NCIC for a J6er, I mean, it says that he may be a member of a terror organization. Do not warn him that he may be on a terror watch list. That's out of control. You're talking about an American citizen who protested his own government. That is not terror.
Right.
Okay, it may be a rally or it turned into a riot. You want to make that argument? We can have that discussion. But an American citizen protesting his government is not terrorism.
Right.
He has no connection to a foreign terrorist organization. So the lawless ones are our law enforcement who would put that on his NCIC when the Congress has not given them any authority to do things like that.
Right.
Congress has not defined an American-based terror organization. They're all foreign terrorist organizations. So they're going across boundaries. They're going across the law. They already can write their own policy. They can enforce the policies they write. And if you got a problem with how they enforce them, you got to use their appeal process. So you got to go to their courts first. So they got all three branches all wrapped up into one already. And they're also doing things that violate the law. So when you want to talk about anti-government, sometimes our bureaucracies look pretty anti-government to me because they don't like our Constitution and they don't like our protections, and they will violate them through color of law infringements. And so that's kind of what's happening to Donald Trump. That's what happened to Trump supporters. That's what's happening to anybody who believes this country has values that should be preserved, that our Constitution is good, that it's holy, that it can be used to advance liberty, that it should be upheld and protected. If you believe there should be a separation of powers, our opponents right now are calling you anti-government, and they want to collapse our system.
Well, we certainly need people like yourself in State House. And in South Carolina, we have a state chapter, and that team has been following your campaign. They've vetted you and recommended you. We kicked it up to the national board for a vote, and you have our full endorsement at both the state and national level.
Thank you so much.
You're very welcome, sir.
I'm honored.
Zoe, how could people get to your website?
Right now, my website is not complete. We're revamping it, but you can go there. It's zowarren.com. It's basically, I have put my issues up there already, things I've been doing, places I've been going, people I've been helping, teachings I've done, my show. I host a show called 2A for Today. It's a gun rights advocacy program. All that's up there right now, but we're revamping it to take this campaign to the second or third and fourth gear right after the presidential primaries. We didn't want to get in the way of people door knocking and supporting Donald Trump for the primary here. But as soon as the primaries are over, all those folks are joining our campaign so we can hit those doors and win this district.
Well, we appreciate you, sir. And we'll get this out on our websites and in the media soon, and I'll get it over to you. So
thank you. Zowarren.com. So it's pretty simple. Zowarren.com.
Yes, sir. We'll see you in South Carolina if you're coming Saturday.
Thank you. God bless you guys.
God bless you too.